for those who like just the mathematical part of physics, there's going to be a lot of theory now within these next few bits, so just hold steady. And this man here um, is Archimedes, and he was given the task of actually investigating whether, or as the story goes, he was set to try investigate whether a crown given to the king of Syracuse at the time was actually made of gold, or whether um, the crown had any impurities in it. So whether it was, say, like a gold shell, but it was actually made of silver. Uh, Obviously, this would have been pretty bad, but obviously, this time in history, monarchies were pretty strict, so trying to sort of protest against them was very popular. But the king of Syracuse asked Archimedes to do some investigative work. And as the story goes, Archimedes was actually taking a bath, and he noticed that the water level when he got in actually rose. And this is actually where the phrase Eureka comes in, simply meaning I have found it. So, what he did was he noticed that when he got in the bath, the water level rose. So he said that for pretty much any object, you could submerge it in liquid and it would tell you the volume of it. So obviously, there's not verifiable evidence for this because this happened within like the early AD period, as far as I can remember. Uh, Definitely before Renaissance era, obviously. So there's not really good at depictions of it or tellings of it. This is just how it goes. But actually, when he discovered this, uh, this well, I should say principle. It actually is a principle. This principle of fluid mechanics was actually named after him and is called Archimedes' principle. Formally, uh, when an object is submerged, it experiences a force known as a buoyant or upthrust first, buoyant or upthrust force, which is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced. So the fluid displaced is equal to the upthrust. And that's essentially Archimedes' principle in a nutshell. There is actually a special case. I when I actually try to do it, it doesn't work. But when I don't try to do it, anyway. So, a special case is known as the law of flotation. Excuse me. So, the law of flotation is a special case of Archimedes' principle. So, if an object floats on a liquid, it displaces its own weight in the fluid. So, obviously, this big tanker here will displace a lot of water, but as a result, it will stay above the water level. So on a free body diagram, the buoyancy vector is opposite to the weight vector. So if we just draw a little diagram up the top here, we have our liquid and then we have our box. The force downwards, so the weight force, actually opposes the buoyant force B, or the upthrust. So that's essentially what the law of flotation covers. So when an object floats, it displaces its own weight in fluid, whether it's water or oil or whatever. It tends to be water at times.